Hello, hello. Nyt on tarkoitus ehkä puhua enemmän englantia kuin suomea, koska tässä on sankari on siis, ei osaa oikein suomea, hän on siis Käpylän, Käpylän juhlaturnauksen C-ryhmän voittaja, eli hän on HSC:n pelaaja. Mä en häntä tunne ollenkaan, mutta katsotaan, eli Tuong Vinh Do, eli Do on siis sukunimi käsittääkseni, ja hän on syntynyt siis, tässä ei nyt lue valitettavasti milloin hän on syntynyt, mutta nuori kaveri kuitenkin. Hänen pitäisi olla kyllä täällä linjoilla kohta. Katsotaan, onko tullut jo. Ja hänen takia mä puhun sitten englantia välillä, varsinkin kun mä kysyn häneltä kysymyksiä. Eli hän pelasi hienon turnauksen 3,5-4 ja suoritusluku 2075, että ihan hyvin, kun on 1511 toi vahvuusluku. Siis selo. Hello, are you there? Mitähän tästä tulee, mutta tarkoitus oli katsoa nyt yksi peli läpi. Hän lähetti 2 peliä, Tuomas Salvi voiton ja sitten Neo Toppinen voiton. Ja sitten oli vielä 3. voitto Akseli Ritolle ja sitten viimeinen peli tasaan. Niin mä ajattelin, että katsotaan suhteellisen rivakasti tämä Neo Toppis voitto häneltä. Ja se on siis tässä. Mä oon laittanut sen valmiiksi. Nyt tää näkyy huonosti, sori. Tai siis, mitä tässä nyt pahoittelemaan. Pääset, että mä huomaan sen heti. Ja käydään taas ilman konetta läpi, niin kuin nykyään on tapana, niin lähestulkoon kaikki pelit käydään vaan ensiksi luomuna ja sitten konetarkistus. Ja mä sitten kyselen häneltä, pitäisikö nyt sanoa sitten millä nimellä? Onko se mahdollisesti nyt sitten, siis Do on siis selkeästi sukunimi. Mun on hirveän vaikea muistaa nyt tätä koko ajan. Siis mä jatkuvasti niinku Tuong Vid. Millä mä kutsun häntä? Ehkä Tuongiksi tai jotain. Tuong Vid. Ja if you are there, please tell me something. En tiedä, onko hän siellä, mutta katsotaan peliä nyt läpi. Eli hän pelaa Najdorfia. Pitäisiköhän puhua vain englantia koko ajan? Mä uskon, että kaikki te ymmärrätte, mitä mä puhun. Ehkä se on yksinkertaisempaa, että mä en koko ajan sotke suomea ja englantia, niin puhutaan vain englantia. Eli so you played Najdorf, like I do, for example, aggressive opening. I don't know about Neo Toppinen. He sounds like young Finnish player, probably some young new guy. Okay, d4, and c takes basic Najdorf stuff, and h3. So this move I have played myself as white. It's a good one. Of course, like 15 other moves in this position, and now you played e5. It's a good move. Of course, e6, g6. These are good alternatives also. And now usually knight goes to b3 or e2. Knight f3 is rare, and I don't think it's so good. And here black should be fine immediately. It's very easy for black to equalize here, I guess. Now you can play. Odotellaan hetki. Let's wait a little bit if you are coming here. There is one viewer. I don't know if I guess it's not you coming, but I'm asking him with WhatsApp. Don't worry, everything will be fine soon. Okay, I will go forwards. So sorry, my English, it's terrible, but also fantastic at the same time. So 97. It's a good move, I guess. Okay, good. You can say also something if you can write. He's here. So what did you know something about this position? Did you think about like b5 or something? There is many moves here. Of course, bishop e6 is normal. Bishop e7 is maybe the most normal move. You can put your knight on d7, knight on c6, everything is possible. Also b5 is possible, yes. Anyway, you played knight d7. I don't want this. I want to get rid of this stupid machine. Okay, and now white played g4, which is aggressive. Possible. Why not? White wants to play g5 and maybe fianchetto his bishop here. So knight c5 you played. For me it seems like a good move, because of course you have to move this somewhere or play h6. Maybe h6 is good also. And he played bishop c4, which is aggressive. And of course you cannot take it. It's very easy to see that you cannot, because there's like queen d5 stuff coming. So you have to play something else here. I would play maybe, I don't know, b5. Okay, b5, bishop d5. It's not clear if it's good. So b5 definitely is alternative to bishop e7. And here I guess you can just take, going for this position, perhaps. Of course this is strong knight, but also you have good bishop pair and so on. So maybe b5 also, but you played bishop e7. That makes sense, of course, to develop pieces. And now g5, I guess. Knight can go to h5 or d7 in this kind of positions. Normally d7 is better. I don't know. Sometimes it makes sense also to come here and f4. I don't know. I don't really know which one is better here. We can look at little bit about this move. So now white plays probably something like knight d5, I guess. And this might be actually good for you. Perhaps you can take actually this pawn now, possibly. And white shouldn't give up it so easily. I don't know. I feel like this might be a good move also. But you played knight d7. And white gets his knight to d5. I guess this was possible. Perhaps, I don't know. Maybe you can also here take on e4, and it's not so clear if white has compensation for the pawn. Maybe not actually. So he played h4, which makes sense, of course. And now you played knight b6. Are you there? Yes, you are in my channel. Yes, maybe you can say something about what you thought about during the game. Let's see. 2 viewers. So is it possible for you to text here to my chat, or you can also text by via WhatsApp, of course. Anyway, so in this position you played knight b6. I like it. It looks good, logical. Normally b5 before knight b6. That's normal, because you block your pawn. But on the other hand, if you play b5, then I guess white can play something like this actually. Yes, that's the problem. So knight b6 makes sense, of course. You're threatening this and taking care of this square. You could have maybe castle also, but who knows. Okay, knight b6. It's not common in Sicilian defense to play like this before b5, I think, but here I like it. And bishop d3, I think that's too soft. Perhaps white should have played something like this to put the bishop on the center, in the center. And if you take, then the knight is very strong. You can maybe play bishop g4 to pin this, so maybe that's something to worry about, as white looks a little bit annoying, this pin. Okay, anyway, white played bishop d3. Now you must be fine, at least equal, I would say, for black. I'm not sure if you should take immediately on d3. You can also play something else like bishop g4, bishop e6, maybe bishop g4 also here, just to pin this knight. And normally it's not so great to take immediately if not necessary, because you give up your nice knight without any real reason. So you could also develop first and only later maybe take. Okay, anyway, you took. White took with the queen. And bishop e6 you played. I guess makes sense, of course. This also actually looks very good, so I don't know if there was nothing wrong with taking on d3. Because clearly black is better also here. So it was actually maybe a good decision just to take immediately and then put your bishop here and then just to play on the white squares and so on. So black has clear advantage here. Maybe white could have took with the pawn, I think. It's possible, but doesn't look so great either. So okay, queen takes, bishop e6 and bishop e3. White is planning probably to castle long, but I think we are happy as black when white put his king here, because it's very easy to attack. Put your knight here and queen a5 and so on. Maybe rook c8 here. Okay, knight c4, good move. Immediately there, of course, very good. And I guess long castling must be played at some point. And then you took immediately again, same as before. So it is possible, but I like your knight here, so I'm not sure if it's best to take immediately on e3. Maybe something like rook c8 or queen a5 first. I would play maybe queen a5, because then if knight jumps, then there's queen a2, queen takes a2, so king b1, I guess. And this looks better actually to keep in this kind of position. It's maybe better to keep this here. And let's say rook c8 perhaps, something like this. Now probably knight d5. I'm not sure about this actually. Maybe queen b4. Threatening just mate immediately. This looks good. Somehow. Okay, I have a feeling that maybe this was a little bit hasty. And he took. And then you played queen a5. He played king b1. Normal stuff. And now rook c8. And the problem here, I guess, is that white... Well, maybe you are fine actually. But I have a feeling that you gave some of your advantage away. Do you agree? By the way, have you looked at this game with coach or computer or something? You can say something if you want, but okay, I can also talk, why not? So here you played, I think, best move queen c5, because if you take, then it's obvious that you are worse here, because your bishop is much worse than this. So it was good not to exchange on d5. And here, I guess you are fine in the ending. And white took. I think white could have considered playing queen somewhere. Maybe e2 or b3. And then I have a feeling that white might be fine, even better. Because you don't want to take on d5, and if you don't, you have some kind of problems with your king. Where to put the king, I don't know. Maybe you can play bishop d8 and then castle, something like this, but white can play h5, and if you castle there's like g5. It might be dangerous for you. I have a feeling that this was a mistake by white, taking on c5. It makes your life easier. and you took with the rook, of course. Now you want to take on d5, and that position is better for you, I guess. Here I think it should be equal, but white shouldn't allow you taking on d5 probably. In the game you got great game. After that, when pawn came here and you played h6, and then it felt like black is better. So maybe white has something better here. I don't know what, by the way. So knight takes e7 feels like it's much easier for black to play. So it's not so easy to find something convincing for white. Maybe b4 is possible, is it? I don't know, rook c4. Maybe if white just wants to, I mean, avoid black taking with some bishop, this knight, so maybe that means that white has to go away here or here. And here, okay, it's obvious that black is fine, but I don't know. In any case, black is fine. Okay, there is no advantage for white. But anyway, when this happened and you took, it felt like this is getting really bad for white. After h6, that was good, very good, because you are threatening taking on g5. If he takes, there is a weak pawn, and if he doesn't, you take, and then you get this h line. So he took. I don't know what white should have done. Rook g1 or something, let's say, and then taking with the h pawn, and maybe you can come here, but and I feel like black must be better here. Okay, computer tells us. This might be wrong what I'm saying, of course. Just intuitively I'm trying to get some ideas, trying to analyze this. It's always hard to analyze without computer. Common sense analysis. So rook takes, feels like black is much better now after f5. c4, both sides have, you know, majority or something, pawn majority, and your pawns come faster, I think. And bishop should be a little bit better than knight in the long run. And this was actually very important. So perhaps here actually white just lost the game, because this loses pawn. Probably already this was a mistake, and I guess now white should do something to prevent this rook f6. I don't know what it is, because you are just playing that and e4. Perhaps this one, but then this one, so it doesn't work either. I don't know what should white play actually. Maybe rook, okay, rook g1, king f8, and again same kind of problems. I have a feeling black is just almost winning here. Anyway, and computer will laugh, of course. Okay, c4, rook f6, rook h3, and e4, of course. And now you just take, of course, yes, white gets this back. That's true, but after these exchanges you win a pawn by force. Very good. And after that you will just get a free passed pawn. Rook e3. Now you have to take care of this, of course. So king d7, and white cannot save this pawn, and f pawn is running, so it must be winning for black. And now you took. Aha, interesting. So okay, it is not so easy to to protect f pawn. Maybe f5, but then he gets this. I understand. You can also, of course, transpose the rook ending like this. This actually looks very good. Probably just winning. This must be winning. There's no hope for white, because this is also dropping. This is weak. So maybe this. Okay, anyway, you played rook 4, which wins a pawn, of course. Yes, that's good also. Maybe even better. Rook f4. Aha, nice. This was nice. So you forced white's knight to h8, and it is funny. Funny square. And now you can take c4, and then you win very easily. And bishop stands here very well. And now you just win everything. You win this pawn, and then you are mating white also. Very good game, I would say. I cannot see anything particularly wrong. Maybe that one exchange there. Okay, this was funny because white wanted to. White made a little stalemate trick here. So he sacrificed his knight with the idea of stalemating himself. So if you take with the bishop, then it actually might be draw. Funny little joke, but this is of course very easy. So now we check the game. I put machine on and we check the game. Okay, let's see. E5 here. Knight f3, bishop e7 perhaps is a little bit. So normally you should start with bishop e7 almost in every case. So for example here bishop e7, or let's say if white plays maybe bishop e2, e5, knight b3 for example, then always bishop e7. So also here it's best to start with that one, and then castles, and maybe later knight d7 or something, or knight c6. Okay, maybe a4 is the critical move, and then if you play this, then bishop g5 and trying to get knight here. But he played g4, and now h6 is as good as knight c5. Bishop c4. Here my b5 was actually better. And then if this, then you just can take here, and if white takes with the knight, then we can take this pawn. There is not enough compensation for white. So b5 aggressive and good. Here b5 was better. But you played this, which is good also. G5, and now I was thinking about this move. It's not so great because there is, for example, this trick. Of course, I didn't notice that. You can maybe actually take here. Interesting. You can take here, and here you can play bishop e6 and d5. This is good position also. But what you did was fine. Knight d7. Bishop e3 was better move than h4. It's a good placement for the bishop. Okay, h4. Knight b6, best move. Congratulations. b5 is not so good. Because white can take here, yes. So, knight b6, good. And now bishop went to d3. It could also could have gone to b3 or e2, but anyway, black is fine. And here I was a little bit critical about this, and maybe rightly so, as they say, because it gives a little bit your advantage away. Maybe bishop e6, maybe bishop g4. That is not so great because of that. It doesn't lead to anything. But bishop e6 immediately is a little bit better because this knight is so strong. And you can always change if you want. But it's not so bad of either to take with the immediately. Now, okay, now it's equal according to machine. Bishop e3, knight c4, and long castling. Now you took, I think that's too early. Yes, that's a little bit too early. Slight mistakes, let's say. And now something like, yes, knight a5, queen a5, king b1 or something. And queen b4, yes, looks good. Something like this. And then perhaps check and rook c8, for example. And black is slightly better. You can exchange queens, for example, with this. Okay, in the game you were slightly worse here. And white could have took with the f pawn also actually, but he took with the queen, which is better probably. And queen a5 is a good move. King b1 normal move. Maybe knight d2 or something was a little bit better. Rook c8, knight d5, and queen c5 was very good. You will play it in any case. So this is not very good maneuver. You knew it and very good. Well played. Black is slightly better. That's why white should have played knight d2 perhaps. Let's see. And if you play, for example, what you played in the game, then knight b3. There's a point. It prevents this, and if you take, then you lose your bishop, which is important. That's why knight d2, knight b3 was better. Now you are fine. He took, you took with the rook. He shouldn't take, as I told you. I have had a feeling that this is not so great. So queen e2 or something. Still, you can try to exchange the queens, but maybe e2 is not the best square, or maybe it is actually. Okay, queen c4, and perhaps like this. No, actually it doesn't work. Stupid computer. It gives that this is good, but then of course this just wins immediately. So that's why white actually has to exchange the queens. I don't know, maybe c3. And if you take, then something like this is much little bit better than the game. But anyway, you are fine. You are slightly better in any case. And here, perhaps knight e3, something like this, or takes on e7 is better. Try, but black is better in any case, little bit better, because of the bishops. And rook d3, this is just a mistake, and now you're much better, actually winning, yes. After h6 there's nothing white can do. He took, you took, and if he played rook g1 or something, then you just take, and exactly how I analyzed like this, black is just winning. After this you can take this, funnily enough. So rook h1 is winning. So white took. There's nothing white can do here. No, nothing. King c1, rook f6, rook h3, e4, and even here, and also here, same mechanism and as in the game. So you just win f2, and then if this goes, then these are so weak that you will just win. And in the game, was there something interesting? e4. Okay, it is very natural what you did, and it is good, but even better was just to start with this, and then just play e4 and grab this pawn, I guess. So you played e4, and then you took, and here white has some slight hopes, perhaps, but I'm not sure if it's real. Knight g5. After this, white is completely lost. h5 was maybe the only try, but it doesn't look great either. Probably you're just winning here also. And here, okay, also this was perhaps a little bit better, but still the game is also fine. Aha, interestingly, this wasn't so accurate. It looked good, but here white has some kind of hopes. If he plays knight g6, bishop f6, check here with counterplay. Some kind of counterplay, which may actually hold with super accurate play by white. So it might be actually good enough for draw. In computer world, of course, not in humans games. So that's why it was better. It looks so good to drive it here, but actually it comes pretty nicely back. That's why it was better to just to take on c4. And now you're completely winning. Okay, anyway, the game went like this. And now there's nothing for white to do except try this little stalemate trick, which wasn't enough. b5, rook b1. What can you do? You just wait until you lose or you try something funny, which he did. By the way, is it a draw after takes? It must be. Yes, it is. So when you took with the pawn, of course, he should have resigned, in my view. It is so hopeless. Okay, you can still take this, and then it's might be draw. Probably not. Okay, this might be actually draw. Now it's not stalemate anymore, so he should have resigned, in my view. Okay, he resigned here. Sorry about my bad language sometimes, and